Bam. Hey guys, happy 4th of July. It is, yes, the 4th of July. It is a glorious weekend. I mean, it really is beautiful. It started out rainy, but now it's fantastic. So I haven't done videos in a few months. And I know I started by saying that I was going to try to kind of upload videos, just silly, kind of fun reviews of reality TV shows because I wanted to get used to being on camera. And I did 4 of them and then I stopped. I stopped because life happened. You know, I moved into this new apartment. I had a lot going on. And so while I did kind of enjoy doing the videos, I had to stop and just kind of recalibrate my situation. Having said that, I decided to come back and wow, I'm really surprised at how many views the videos that I did upload get. They got quite a few more than I thought. One video got like 6,000 views and I'm not even doing anything to promote them. So I guess Google's machine in terms of pumping out the videos and putting them in front of people is working. So anyway, having said that, I felt the need to really come online today to talk about something that is frivolous but has real life kind of human, you know, let's talk about this undertones that I think are serious. And it's gossip. It's about Sherri Shepherd, who I'm not a fan of. I will tell you that right away. I've never been a fan of hers. She's not my cup of tea. I hear what this woman has said in the past on The View, and I have never thought of her as the brightest bulb on Broadway. No. And it's just, you know, there's something about her that rubs me the wrong way. So that aside, I'm going to tell you that I kind of saw something on TMZ today that I want to, number one, kind of get off my chest for what it's worth. And number two, ask you what you think about it, because there's some serious things going on with her situation that I think is worthy of a discussion. This is my point of view. Now, yeah, I know. TMZ. I know. But here's the deal. They do break real shit. They do break real stories. They broke the Michael Jackson death. They broke Whitney Houston's death. They do have reliable sources. They don't always hit it on the nail, but no one does. Not even real mainstream media. So I will take this with a grain of salt. And let's just say that we know that Sherri is, even though she talks about everyone else's life and she has mentioned some of her stuff on The View, we know that she also has been very quiet on this topic of her latest husband. And I think it's pretty interesting, you know, because she's very opinionated about everyone else's situation. But now she has nothing to say. My theory is that it's got to be a little embarrassing for her because, look, the girl had one bad marriage where her husband cheated on her, got another woman pregnant, if I'm correct. If I'm not, correct me. But I think that's what happened. He got another woman pregnant. Or he cheated on her while she was pregnant, I think. And, okay, fine, the guy was a douchebag and she divorced him. It happens to the best of us. But then to turn around at this age, many years later, and you are marrying a man who, not even 2 years, I don't even think they've been married for 2 years, does what her current husband is doing to her, and very publicly files for divorce, is trying to get money out of her. It's just everything about the situation reeks of desperation on his part and just scumbagishness, if you ask me. The guy is coming across as a real scumbag, and there's no way to clean it up. There's not enough PR spin in the world to make this seem anything other than what it is, and that's 2 people. One person who's clearly a douchebag and another person who has poor judgment, and that's Sherri Shepherd. You just can't look at this situation and not think, really, girl? Like, you're how old and you're still grabbing these douchebags and marrying them and having babies with them? Like, what have you learned? And that's being very judgmental, but it's a question that I think a lot of people have of her probably now. And more so because she's so judgmental. So anyway, let me get on to what I saw today that really just made me, I mean, it just really, it annoyed me. Okay, so TMZ, I'm going to read the story to you really quickly because I just want you all to be clear on what is being alleged on her situation. Okay, so it basically says, you know, Sherri Shepherd does not want to have that. You know, she had the, she and her husband, who's now, he's filing for divorce from her. They have the situation where they have a surrogate who's carrying their baby. It's his sperm, allegedly, but the surrogate obviously is using her egg and she's carrying the baby for both of them. Now, the baby is going to be here. I don't know how, you know, far along she is, but it's certainly going to be here within a couple of months, if not sooner. And it's just really a pathetic, sad situation that these 2 knuckleheads decided to bring a child into this world when they clearly aren't ready for it. So sorry, that's my phone. I have a weird phone. I know I have weird sound things, but anyway. So back to Sherri. So this is the deal that TMZ just broke today. So Sherri Shepherd does not want anything to do with her unborn surrogate baby. Let me read that again. She does not want anything to do with her unborn surrogate baby. Now, these are allegations. TMZ could be wrong. Their sources could be jacked up. But let's just assume for 1 minute that they are. Okay? Because she believes her estranged husband defrauded her into having the kid in the first place so he could get child support. This, according to multiple sources. Okay, so the husband is she believes that the husband just even went through this whole ruse of wanting to have a baby just so that he could divorce her and get the money, the child support that she would have to pay because she is the one who's obviously the breadwinner in the family, right? He's not making, what does he do? No one even knows. But clearly he's not making the money that she's making. So TMZ broke the story that Sherri and her husband Lamar each separately filed legal docs to end the marriage. Okay. The big complication, a baby will be born this month. I didn't know it was this month. This month. Okay, to a surrogate who signed a contract with Sherri and Lamar. So there's legal contractual obligations here, as there should be and would be with any surrogate situation, right? Now, our sources say the baby was conceived with Lamar's sperm, but not Sherri's egg. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Okay. We're told Sherri does not want custody or even to be considered a parent because she doesn't want to get stuck with massive child support payments, which is so low, but let me continue. Sherri wants a judge to rule she has no parental rights or responsibilities, which should shut the door to child support. She claims Lamar defrauded her, that he got her to sign on for a surrogate birth, knowing full well he would divorce her and then nail her for all the child support, which he could then live off of, right? Our Lamar sources say Sherri tried to get pregnant in vitro, and when it didn't work, she got deeply involved into the surrogacy process. Another twist, Sherri has filed for divorce in New Jersey and Lamar has filed in California. This is not a coincidence. It never is, right? We did some digging and found out that New Jersey courts generally do not recognize surrogacy agreements, which means Lamar would probably be shut down if this goes through the New Jersey courts. Not so in California. Okay, so that's the gist of the story. We don't know if it's true or not, but we do know that it's a sloppy, messy situation, and it's too damn sloppy for these old ass people to be going through, if you ask me. But if he's a scumbag, he's a scumbag. But Sherri, you married him, and then you wanted to have a baby with him. So my whole thing about this situation is the hell with Sherri and the hell with her husband and her soon-to-be husband. I really feel badly for, unfortunately, this child who now has two parents who are assholes. Clearly, if Sherri does not want to have anything to do with the baby, I guess I can understand to some degree why she would feel that, because it's then his baby and she's now tied to him, to Lamar, her soon-to-be ex-husband, for the rest of the baby's life, and really for the rest of her life. You know, you guys have a kid together. It's his sperm. You can't deny him that. She probably doesn't want to have anything to do with the baby. Now, most women, when that happens to them, they're actually carrying the baby, so you don't have a choice. It's in you, and when it comes out, you're the mama, and you can't walk away so easily. This contract that they have is meant to kind of mimic that situation where there is some culpability on the part of both parents to assume responsibility for the baby when it's born. So I don't think she's going to necessarily be able to walk away from this. My thing is, I'm really disgusted that if this is true, this is the tactic that she's taking. And I've never felt so badly for an unborn child, because here you have a baby who is about to come into this world. Didn't ask to be here, as far as we know, but is about to come into this world because two of the most selfish human beings on the planet decided to, number one, marry, and number two, bring a life into the middle of their marriage, their fucked up world. Okay, so that baby now basically has two people who doesn't want to have anything to do with it, or possibly one person who does, but just because they want to get the money and run, and that's Lamar. The other person I feel sorry for in this is the surrogate. You know, how unbelievable. Could you imagine thinking that you are carrying a child for a couple? You're doing this, you're giving your body up, and you're giving up this baby to a couple who you believe will love it, take care of it, bring it into this world and raise it to be a functioning human being with love and support. And then you find out in your 8th month or 7th month or whenever that these are two of the biggest assholes on the planet, and that neither one of them want to have anything to do with your baby. Could you imagine how that surrogate mother feels? I would be devastated. I wouldn't want either of them to have anything to do with the baby, to be honest with you. Which leads me to my question of you. My feeling, I don't think either one of them should get this child. Okay, they're both, being an asshole doesn't necessitate that you can't be a good parent. Okay, if that was the case, a lot of kids would get pulled away from their parents because there's a lot of assholes having babies, and they it's just, unfortunately, that's how nature built us. You can be an asshole and have a baby, and you can be an asshole and have a baby and then still turn around to be a good parent. So let's be real about that. That doesn't mean that you're going to be eventually a bad parent. I just think that in this situation, it being so messy, so ugly, and these people being so clearly selfish and just not caring about the surrogate or the baby, I don't think they should get the child. I think the child would be better off being put up for adoption and being placed into the home of two loving parents who definitely want to love it. I think the child, this baby who's 8 months old and still gesticulating in the womb, I think that baby deserves that. I think anybody deserves that coming into this world, to be wanted, okay? The mother, I think the surrogate mother should sue both parents, okay? I think she should sue Lamar and Sherri Shepherd for this bullshit, because you know, how dare you try to renege and get out of a contract and draw me into the million. Now, granted, she took a chance too. There's a lot of, you take chances in this situation, and you have to cut your losses when things don't work out and accept your role in it as being, well, I thought it was going to be a good thing. And that, I think she's second to the baby, the second most innocent person here, and that she tried to do something, you know, who knows? We don't know who she is, but we're going to assume that she was trying to do something that she thought was caring. She probably is devastated now. So that's my feeling about that. I think the mother should sue Sherri and Lamar. What do you think should happen to the baby? Do you think the baby, and this is a real life situation, I mean, if this is real, it certainly isn't the first time this has happened, but it's worth discussing. Do you think the baby should be in the custody of Lamar or Sherri, or neither one of them? What should happen to the baby? Okay, and what do you think that the surrogate mother should actually sue Sherri and Lamar for their stupidity and for dragging her in the middle of this and not wanting to take responsibility when they both agreed to contractually take this child? And you know, now they're putting her through this. And will she keep the child? Who knows? Maybe she feels like she may want to keep it. It's such a mess. It's such a mess. And I feel some kind of way about this because I'll be honest with you, I chose not to have children. Yeah, and as far as that could change. But so far, I've chosen not to have kids. And I've heard people tell me my whole life that it's so selfish. It's so like it's any of their damn business. But it's true. I've had people say to me, it's selfish that you don't want to bring a child into this world. And I happen to feel it is more selfish to bring a child into this world that you don't want, or to subject the child to a life that you know is going to be horrible, than to decide ahead of time, I don't think I can handle being a parent. I'm not so sure I have what it takes, and I'm not so sure I want to make those sacrifices. Do you know what I mean? So I know it's a debate that goes back and forth. I stand by what I feel. I'm sure you do too, but it's a discussion. So, hell, what do you think? Yeah, I'd love to know. Put it down in the comments and just put it out there. This is not a judgment on what you think or what anyone thinks, but I do think it should be a discussion. And those two buttholes aside, Sherri and Lamar, who, even if this story isn't true, I still think they're buttholes. You know, it's a serious situation. Anyway, that's my story. And if you have something new to add to it, if you've heard something, let me know, because again, I don't stay on top of this stuff about her. But I'm sure I only have partial information, and at the end of the day, it's none of our businesses, but we're going to talk about it. Right? So anyway, happy 4th, and, be safe.